Welcome to Denton Radio in the Morning, powered in part by Classic of Denton. Well, good morning, everybody. It is Denton Radio in the Morning, the show bringing you a quick snapshot of all things Denton news, Denton weather, and Denton events. We're going to jump quickly into the Denton Record Chronicle, one of our great partners in this show, as well as Denton's oldest news resource. We pull some stories from Denton Record Chronicle every morning, just giving you a couple of top headlines. And if you would like to follow up, you can do so at DentonRC.com. Or, of course, you can come by the Discover Denton Welcome Center. We'll hook you up with a physical newspaper, just like this one, if you'd like to go just a little bit retro. All right. Top stories today, County Spotlights health trends. Health Department to share info at Summit, STD cases on rise. Beach town still hurting. Harvey's blow to Texas Gulf tourism will be felt for a long time. Thoughts and prayers, of course, do always go out to the Harvey victims. Spiritual growth. Oh, good gracious. Okay, my apologies anytime I mispronounce a name. Temple now a year old, mixes yoga, gardening, and nourishment. Interesting. Okay. And then last story today, campus rape prevention program sees hurdles. Fed changing tactics on colleges' handling of sexual assaults. All right, if you would like to follow up on any of those stories as well as many, many more, you can do so at DentonRC.com. All right, jumping forward into Denton weather, it looks like it's going to be a really nice day today. We're about 72 right now, high of 94 though, so we are going to get a little bit warmer again. Just when you thought it was over, it's coming back. We are looking at very low levels of precipitation until we get into the evening. And so we shouldn't be too terribly wet, but it is going to be a little warm. You're going to have some cloud cover today, but not a whole lot. Tomorrow is when it's going to be getting a lot sunnier, but it is also supposed to be getting a lot cooler then as well. So high of 94, and it looks like this will be the warmest day of the week. So good day to be outside if you're not against the warm weather. But if you are against the warm weather, don't fret because it will not be here forever. Okay. We've talked Denton news. We've talked Denton weather. It is time for us to talk to our very special guest. We have in the studio Melissa Sims playing Sandra Bloom in the upcoming Music Theatre of Denton's production of Big Fish. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me here.
Good. Well, we are super excited to get to have you in the studio. Been really looking forward to the show for a while. Everybody's been talking it up so big. So for those that have not heard about it before, go ahead and give us a quick rundown of what we can expect from Big Fish.
Well, Big Fish stars two young men. One named, the characters are Edward Bloom and his son Will. And Edward Bloom, as most Southern daddies do, love to tell great big stories. And the son doesn't always understand what's going on, and they learn to reconcile themselves with one another. But I have to tell you that Southern stories and tall tales lend themselves to some great theater, some really fun numbers. So that's worth coming out for.
Cool. Well, so this has got a lot of musical elements to it as well. So there's going to be a lot of music. So there's going to be some comedy elements, but you also had a warning for everybody.
Well, I do recommend you bring your tissues. It is a story of reconciliation.
Very, very cool. So how long have you guys been working on this?
I think we started late August, early September, so it's been a while.
So I think a lot of people that, even a lot of showgoers or those who have seen the campus theater or admired it from afar, I'm always blown away by the level of talent that comes out of the campus. It's just amazing to me. Between Denton Community Theater and Music Theatre of Denton and just all of the things that get put on there. I mean, this is really world-class stuff. So Big Fish, you said, used to be, it was a movie and has been adapted into a musical. Very cool. So I've never gotten to see the movie. But if you had the chance to pitch this show in just 10 seconds, what would you say to the potential candidate?
Viewers? Big fun song and dances.
Very cool. Big fun song and dances. Now, if somebody's never been to the campus theater before, how would you pitch it to them?
Well, that's one of my favorite stories. That is such a beautiful, the historic campus theater is one of my favorite places in Denton. And if you've not had the opportunity to come see, the building alone is worth seeing.
It is.
And there's always good theater there, as you said.
Very cool. Well, and I've gotten to go to a few shows over the years, and like I said, a lot more than a few, I guess I should say. It's always been a part of my childhood growing up, and got to do a show there when I was pretty young, as a cabin boy in HMS Pinafore, and just different things like that, and I've always loved the theater, and really blown away by, and I can't keep saying it enough, I'm just so amazed by the level of talent coming out of the town that are primarily volunteers. I mean, these are people who are just passionate about theater or the arts or musicals or whatever, and I would put them up against anybody or anywhere. I mean, it's really, really everything from directors to the music to I don't know how to fangirl over it anymore. I mean, it's really, really cool. I think a lot of people are under the perception that you can't get that level of talent without having a huge budget. And really what you need instead is just a group of really passionate people that like doing it.
That's true.
And I think we got that in spades, especially here in Denton, just the creative community, but the campus theater, I think specifically, is a really, really big part of that. So give us a little bit more about the show, any kind of special teasers or things people might not know.
Well, the thing that people keep saying to me about it when they realize that the show is coming is, oh, I saw that movie and I remember it being so poignant. And that is true. It is a beautiful love story of family. Edward and Sandra have a beautiful love story, and you get to go back in flashback and see how they meet. That's fun. And then there's such a wonderful story between father and sons. And then later, as that young man becomes a father himself, his relationship with his young son. I keep giggling every time I'm not in. And when I get to sit out and watch a number that I'm not in, the tall tale aspect just is lending itself to such fun theater. And I'm enjoying watching what my fellow actors are putting on stage. And the genuine laughter that comes from fellow actors watching each other work is just, it's always fun to see.
Very cool. Very, very cool. Well, I'm looking forward to the show. When is it?
We open next Friday, October 20th. We run that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then the next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
So 6 showings total.
Correct.
Very cool. Well, I'm excited. It's going to be really, really fun time. If nobody's ever been to the campus theater before, I think now is your opportunity to check it out. And if you have been to the campus theater before, it's time for you to go back. So again, thank you very much for doing this. We appreciate it. It should be a really cool show. I'm really looking forward to it. And like I said, the campus theater itself is such a cool part of what makes downtown. And it's, again, I don't know how to fangirl over it anymore. Like it's just a really, really, really good time. There's this freaking fly in here, and he's always here. Just insider information. You guys can probably never see him on the camera because we're not going in that high def enough. But man, it's this one fly, and he's always here, and we don't know how to get rid of him. Anyways, okay. Some of the DJs have named him, and there's a whole backstory.
He thinks he's part of the show.
Yes, he came from a distant land, and he's got powers, and it's become a whole thing. Anyways, all right. So before we move forward into other Denton events that are happening, is there anything else you want to make sure you add about this upcoming show?
Get your tickets. It's time. You know where to do that in Denton, Texas. Campustheater.com. That'll work. Musictheaterofdenton.com. Get your tickets and come see us.
Actually, before we move forward, I've got a quick question.
Okay.
And it's more about you personally. So you are performing in the show as well as singing, right? And you're a singer yourself.
I am.
And so what was the history that brought you here to Music Theater of Denton and being in these shows and participating in all this stuff? Because I think that's really interesting.
Well, I'm going to show my age. I came to Denton in May of '94, and that Christmas they were holding auditions for Fiddler on the Roof. Cool. And that show was a co-production between Music Theatre of Denton, who back then was Denton Light Opera Company, and the Campus Theatre, and Ryan High School. Ryan High School had just opened up. Oh, wow. And the Campus Theatre was being renovated at the time. It was empty, and they were working on it, but we actually did the show out at Ryan High School. Cool. And then that summer, the Campus Theatre opened, and I've been there ever since. They can't get rid of me. Very, very cool. And just a lot of cool community people that get to express their passions. I dig it. All right. Well, we have talked Denton news. We have talked Denton weather. We have talked Big Fish coming up at Music Theatre, at the Campus Theatre being put on by Music Theatre of Denton. And it is premiering, you just said it. We open Friday, October 20th.
Friday, October 20th. Make sure you get your tickets ASAP, because I got a feeling that this one is going to sell out. All right. Because it is Denton Radio in the morning, we are now going to talk about some other Denton events. If you would like to follow up on any of these, you can do so at discoverdenton.com. While you're there, you can find restaurant listings, hotel listings, everything you need for your next Dentoning experience. So we're going to pop through a few of these events real quick. Starting us off on the calendar is the Community Dance Center Fall Session over at Texas Women's University. Next up, we have
The End and the Beginning at the Visual Arts Building.
Awesome, and that's going to be over on the UNT campus. We have Yoga with James at A Creative Art Studio, and then later today,
live with the DRC at Discover Denton Welcome Center.
Very nice. We also have Community Yoga with Karma Yoga over at the Greater Denton Arts Council. It's in the Patterson-Appleton Arts Center. After that,
karaoke at the Abbey Underground.
So any of you guys looking for karaoke, that's the place to be tonight. We have open mic night happening at LSA Burger. We will be broadcasting that live here on DentonRadio.com from 7 to 9.
Oh, my goodness, you gave me the long one. Brass band, Nichols E. William, conductor, and Jacqueline Townsend, associate conductor, over at the Windspear Performance Hall.
Very nice. And anybody that watches this show regularly knows that I would have totally botched that. That's why she got the longer one. Live jazz at the Greenhouse is happening tonight. If you've never been to the Greenhouse to check out their jazz, it is an experience. So make sure you check it out. Also, last but not least,
open mic at Andy's Bar.
And that open mic starts at 10. LSA Burger's open mic starts at 7 and finishes at 10. Andy's starts at 10 and keeps on going. So you can hit both open mics if you'd like to. All right. That is what we've got at Discover Denton. But as you can see, there's plenty more there as well. So feel free to check it all out at discoverdenton.com. That is our show, everybody. Thank you very much, Melissa, for coming in and doing this. We appreciate it. I know it's early. But all of you guys, get your tickets for Big Fish. Make sure you check it out. And we will see all of you guys tomorrow. Well, thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to check out DentonRadio.com for new Denton artists and where they're playing next. While you're surfing the internet, make sure you check out our friends Classic of Denton at ClassicofDenton.com.